Hello everyone, my name is Tahir Muhammad and today I'll be presenting about the role of GPT-4 in the research process efficiency. I focus on Gemini, Microsoft AI, and ChatGPT. Without further ado, let's start with the presentation. So this is my presentation outline. I'll start with the introduction, then I'll give a brief overview of GPT-4 power tools, cost comparison, application of GPT-4 in research, limitation of GPT-4, likely significance, best practices, and conclusion. So I'll start with the introduction. AI is shaking up many industries with a lot of professional increasing the use of AI for proficiency, and academic research is no exception. So it's being used across many industries. So whether it's for writing, editing, citing research, or help support research processes, AI can engage in real conversation, generate content in various style, and other valuable response. So due to the progress of natural language processing and machine learning, AI has become more advanced and proficient in carrying out many activities that improve user experience. So that goes to say that AI now can have a conversation with a person. AI now can do a lot of things. But I'm also trying to emphasize that GPT here stands for generative pre-trained transformer, because a lot of application we just hear GPT but we don't know what it stands for. So these are the three tools that I'll be focusing on. So those are like the GPT-4 power tools. So we'll start with ChatGPT, which is the most famous one. Is developed by OpenAI and designed to help with a wide range of tasks, answering questions basically from queries and generating content. So Microsoft Copilot is an AI feature within Microsoft Office, like Word, Excel. If you use the Microsoft 365 suite, so it's automatically integrated into that, and it kind of automates and enhances productivity by working alongside with the apps that are being developed by Microsoft. And Google Gemini is developed by Google DeepMind. So it's a platform that integrates with research database and tools. It helps researchers by managing data and citation more efficiently, streamlining the research process and ensuring everything is well organized. So for Gemini, it's also very compatible with the Google products. So if you use the online Google Drive or Google Sheets or Google Docs or Google Finance or Google Slide, it kind of like integrates seamlessly into these products for Google. So this table provides the comparison between the three GPT power tool. What are the core technologies, primary use, strength, limitation, customization, user experience, privacy concern, and accuracy. So the most notable feature here is that they all use GPT-4 when it comes to generating but they primarily, I think for Microsoft Copilot, is primarily related to enterprise and data management. And then for Google it does have like high, given Google extensive data collection and usage capability, because that everyone now uses Google, and the data that has been like available to Google is used to train Gemini. So Gemini becomes much more kind of advanced in that sense, but it also uses it's also very good for code generation. So this is some of the features that we can see in the most AI powered tools. So all three of these tools are generative AI. They're also like generative pre-trained transformer model. They're all based on GPT, except for Gemini. And Gemini does have GPT, but it's like a multimodal capability, text, image, and beyond. So GPT is developed by OpenAI. Copilot is developed by OpenAI and Microsoft. I think Microsoft owns 50% of OpenAI. And the target audience kind of differs here, because general use students, professional developers, but for Copilot, if you can see, it's only developers and programmers. So it does require like those people to use it. It does require like a little bit of knowledge to kind of make good use of that. And there is also the general use for Gemini is with the focus of advanced AI capability. So the core technology is all the same with the NLP. And as I mentioned, a multimodal AI is actually a highly capable AI system that can not only understand and generate human language at a high level, but also extend this capability to other type of data like image and audio. So this allows the AI to perform complex tasks that requires integrating and analyzing different kind of information simultaneously. So when it comes to the cost comparison, most of these GPT tools are not free. They free to some extent. So there is like the basic access, limited usage, and then there is like a priority support, more frequent update and whatnot. And there is also the enterprise version. So I couldn't find any information related to enterprise because you have to be in sort of a team to use it, and all these companies have agreement that has like a small NDA part on them that they do not disclose this information. But most of them, if you look here, is just around the same price. For ChatGPT is $20 a month, and then for Gemini is $15 a month. Also, advanced integration and higher data limits is like 45 dollars a month. And then if you want to have code assist that AI generate like helps you with codes uniquely, then there is $19 per user with like a 1 year commitment. And Microsoft Copilot is also no different. But for Copilot, what was good is that it's already integrated into Microsoft 365, so you end up paying $20 or $12.50 depending on the use or depending on the feature that you want to subscribe to. So all of these AI tools have a basic and a premium subscription. So the basic is just letting you use to kind of have a trial and see if you would like to subscribe to the more advanced uh, price range. But it does essentially comes down to you subscribing to those. So $20 a month I feel like is very manageable at this point. So now we discuss application of GPT-4 in the research process. So since we are concerned with research efficiency, first we're going to start with summarizing and synthesizing research. So we can use this GPT-4 can quickly summarize vast amount of literature, and then kind of allowing researchers rapidly to get up and speed on a new topic. So for example, if a researcher is exploring the impact of climate change on agriculture, they can use GPT-4 to scan through hundreds of articles and hopefully produce like a somehow synthesized uh, summary highlighting the most critical findings, trends, gaps in existing research, and etc. So it also integrate diverse data source, so it can combine information from various sources, and then for example that can be mostly highlighted in public health. So it could synthesize data from epidemiology studies, clinical trials, and policy analysis to provide a comprehensive overview of how different factors can contribute to disease spread or can contribute to any other health factor. And the second aspect of the use of GPT-4 is thematic coding and analysis. So automating qualitative data analysis, GPT-4 can assist by coding, categorizing qualitative data such as interviews, transcript, or open-ended survey responses into relevant themes. And then it can also improve the consistency and by automating the coding process that reduces a little bit the human error for data that is analyzed consistently. There's also the systematic review and meta-analysis. So streamlining the systematic review, it can automate the process of identifying, screening, and extracting data from relevant studies for systematic reviews, for example, in a meta-analysis on the effectiveness of educational intervention. For example, GPT-4 can quickly assist in scanning thousands of studies, extracting relevant metrics like effect size, summarizing them in a very coherent manner. And it can also help in synthesizing qualitative data from multiple studies, making it easier to conduct meta-analysis that requires pulling data from like different sources. There is also the design and analysis of survey. So GPT-4 can assist researchers in creating well-structured surveys by suggesting optimal question phrasing and ensuring comprehensiveness. And then, or after survey data collection, can analyze the trending results, generate reports, and just for example, in an educational research process, GPT-4 could analyze responses from students about their online learning experience, identifying key. So AI can help also in drafting research proposals or grant proposal. It is also capable of document generation, citation and reference, data analysis assistance. So for data analysis and assistance also, one needs to be careful, but I will go over that in the limitation section. Is very well known for idea generation. So on the use of AI, if you want a new idea to be generated, you can is very useful, especially when it comes to the research process. Editing and proofreading, that's the main use of all of students, I would say, of AI. And translating and multi-language research. So since AI is incorporated with like so many languages, it can be used for multi-language research and is very useful also for translating and other multilingual research processes. So the strength of GPT-4, it can significantly reduce the time needed for document creation and data analysis. So the automated routine tasks allow researchers to focus more on critical aspect of the work, and also it's very accessible. So is kind of understandable, making it easy for to interpret results and making it easy to interact with the user, with the website or with the tool or the application. And by linking various databases and resources, Gemini, for example, provides up-to-date, accurate information that ensure that research documents are reliable and complete. And also, in terms of integration, they work well with existing research workflows to improving productivity and ensuring that all the resources are easily accessible during the research process. So, for integration, it could be integrated through the Google product or the Microsoft product, and even now ChatGPT has extension and bots that you can actually link and automate in different research applications or any application that you would want to use. So these are some of the strengths. There are quite a few limitations for the use of GPT in the research and efficiency process. So I'm going to start with accuracy and reliability. The GPT-4 model is undoubtedly a powerful language model, but its ability to deliver accurate and reliable information is not without its limitation. One of the most significant issues is its tendency to generate incorrect and misleading information. This hallucination can occur when the model produces data that seems plausible but in fact fabricated. So, for example, if you're working on a research paper and ask GPT-4 to summarize a scientific study, it might create a reference to studies or data that do not actually exist or may misinterpret the results. So, the risk of introducing error into your work increases significantly if the information provided by GPT-4 is taken into face value. So it is always essential to cross-check and validate the information to ensure that your final work is accurate and reliable. Another major challenge associated with GPT-4 is its inconsistency in generating well-structured, polished documents. While the model can produce significant amount of text on various topics, the quality of output often falls short, requiring extensive human intervention to kind of correct the errors. For instance, if you rely on GPT-4 to draft a report of a paper, you might find the document is riddled with formatting inconsistencies, grammatical errors, sections that lack coherence. The issue that's particularly frustrating is that when you need a professional academic document to meet a specific standards, for example, for our assignments where we use, for example, say APA 7 for reference and all that. So it can actually be very disappointing by producing missing headings and properly formatted citation, and all of which it requires manual correction. So this limitation kind of significantly reduces the time-saving benefit of using GPT-4, as you might end up spending considerable amount of time editing and refining the document to meet your need. And it's also dependent on training data. So knowledge is limited, and the data it was thrown up kind of like very limited, causing potential gaps, outdated information, and cannot incorporate new development post-training. Another major limitation that is worthy to mention is the limited contextual understanding. So, for example, if you're conducting research on an issue of climate change, GPT-4 might provide a response that covers general aspect but misses critical kind of nuances or fails to consider the interplay of various factors. So this limitation can be particularly challenging in fields that require a deep understanding of context, such as legal studies, philosophy, or while GPT-4 can generate a lot of text in responses, it may lack the thoroughness and depth needed for advanced research problem solving. It's also time consuming for validation, so significant time and effort are required to validate and verify the output, which can negate the productivity gain expected from using the model. Ethical and privacy concern may inadvertently breach intellectual property right or produce biased results. Handling sensitive data also pose significant risk. One ethical dilemma that revolves around potential use of GPT-4 is to unintentionally reproduce or mimic existing work without proper attribution. So, without proper attribution. So, this raises serious concern about plagiarism and copyright infringement, especially in academic or commercial research setting where the originality of content is paramount. So, for instance, if GPT-4 generates a passage, uh, if for example, say it just closely generated a passage that resembles uh, a published article. It may do so without proper citation, leading to potential legal issues. Plus, it is actually kind of suspected that from various studies, GPT-4 uses the document that people use in order to train itself. So data breaches issues is very, very important, and there is a big limitation to consider. And prompt engineering. So prompt engineering is the effective use of high quality prompt. A steep learning curve exists in mastering this. For example, you need to learn how to use prompts, you need to learn how to engineer prompts correctly to get the output that you need, and this impacts its usefulness to those unfamiliar with NLP concept or natural language processing concepts. There is also its inability to control source data. It cannot verify or use the data that you've given it, because it will just generate things out of the blue. And there is also the static knowledge base, as I mentioned, and there is also bias in output, which may unintentionally perpetuate cultural, societal, or historical biases presented in the training data, affected in the objectivity of the research finding. So the likely significance is there is going to be a shift in the research design, because once you automate the lit review, data analysis, report generation, it kind of saves a lot of time for the researchers, and then it allows them to focus on more on the creative aspect of the research. And then it also it also improves on data analysis, and then enhances the extended scope of data analysis, manages larger and more complex data set for detailed findings, discovers small patterns missing by conventional methods. So that actually refers to when a human cannot find patterns when you're looking at the data over and over and over again. You might miss up some data or some trends or some patterns, but over familiarity is a human problem, but for machines it's kind of easy to do. So it improves also precision and reliability of research, provided that it is verified by humans. So once it's verified, it can be precise to the point. There is also going to be an impact on peer review that will require new skills and methodology for AI generated content, verifying the accuracy and soundness, and expand the role of peer review, and then facilitate interdisciplinary research, breaks down barriers between fields of studies. That comes down to integrate knowledge from multiple domains, promote innovation, and provide innovation through interdisciplinary collaboration. So that can be in a form of combining, for example, different fields such as economics, sociology, environmental science, public health research, can just be a very good use and a very good likely significance that this GPT-4 tools can be used towards that. So, in conclusion, the adaptive GPT-4 and similar AI tool in research offer a powerful means to improve efficiency, accuracy, and innovation. However, despite the potential benefit, these technologies come with substantial limitations and challenges. Researchers must use caution when using these tools to fully understand and mitigate their complexity, making them both a valuable and demanding resource. Thank you all for this. I think this will be all for my presentation. For any question or comments, you can reach me at tahad.muhammad@wmh.edu, and I'll be happy to answer any question you may have. Thank you.